Welcome, all you Monday havers out there. Producer Henry here saying thank you for joining us for your case of the Mondays. It's October 21st, 2024. Mike will be with us in just a moment. Seems like the chat's having an extremely bad case of Monday today, so we'll get right on that. Pardon our delay. Things just got really Monday-ish right before we kicked off. Be with you in just a moment. As you can notice if you're watching the stream, there's no chat on screen, but I can see you here on our YouTube side, so you will be heard today. You will be heard.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Wisecrack's Case of the Mondays. Michael Burns here with producer Henry. First of all, sorry to Tunnel Rat, I saw you got fired. I'm very sorry. That sucks. Getting fired is ass. Let's see. Oh, man. Sean's parents had to move. It's very tough.
Okay, we got the
Very
super chat
Monday-ish.
notification, but there's no live chat in the screen. So weird.
78 in Minnesota today, someone says. Wow. But hey, thanks for being here, everyone. I know that we are very, very Mondayed. Good morning, producer Henry from David Hamilton. Thanks so much. Helmenstein. I don't know about you guys. I've been not enjoying my Monday or my weekend largely due to air quality. We've had the what's the thing called? Santa Ana winds here in Southern California. It makes the air all dry and dirty. So I've been all dried out. Lips have been all chapped. I've been collecting various chapsticks from the house, trying to fix myself. Physician heal thyself, as one says. So that's where I've been at. Thanks to everyone for watching Friday's video. A lot of you have. It's a very funny thing happens where people will do this thing where they on the more popular videos, we tend to get more comments, feedback, whatever. And sometimes on those videos are the ones where we'll get people, being critical, saying like, I miss the old Wisecrack, all this sort of stuff. This channel fell off. And there's always this beautiful irony that it's on the really popular videos that are doing amazingly. The people will be like, this channel fell off. And it's like, you're commenting on the video. It's performed better than any video in the past 6 months. I don't think we fell off, Chief, but I'm sorry that it's not for you. But so thank you for watching Friday's video. Thank you especially to everyone who left a comment about, if they started a band called Trash World, what sort of music they would play, what their genre would be. Someone did point out that there's actually, I guess, I think it was like a thrash metal band in Orlando called Trash World. So that's great. I'm gonna have to look them up later and listen to them. Do I know what thrash metal sounds like? No, I don't. I can imagine what I think it would sound like.
You
I think
probably do. Thrash metal, come on.
Yeah, I think it's a thing where like as soon as I heard it, I'd be like, oh yeah, of course that's
it's
what.
It's like classic Metallica.
Yeah. Okay, well that makes sense then. There we go. I got it. We're going to talk a little bit about the Trump at McDonald's thing today. I saw someone point this out in the chat already, that it was, okay, I don't want to sound like conspiratorial here or anything, but I know that it was staged or whatever in so much as they closed the place down. But I think they probably do that when any presidential candidate from any side of things does one of these like visits at a business, you know what I mean? But especially this dude, because they tried to shoot him. So they're not going to just like let our boy, of course, who got shot, like roll up at a McDonald's like that, right? I don't know. I just think that maybe that's not the most insane thing about it all. But I have a theory we'll get into today that maybe that moment both changed Donald Josephine Trump forever and potentially completed the system of German idealism as first developed by Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel in Germany in the early 19th century. A project we could say inaugurated by the work of Immanuel Kant and carried forward by philosophers like Fichte and Schelling throughout the early 19th century. A system of philosophy that aimed to unify, thought and reality, object and concept in one whole process, thus that we could fully understand, philosophy itself, the idea in itself, the unfolding of human subjectivity alongside nature, all those sorts of things. I think that Trump might have helped complete that system, but I'm not totally sure if that's the case. Someone said, is the sound really low? I feel like I feel myself not yelling today. So I'll speak closer to the mic. I don't know. I feel like sometimes I yell and I feel like I just don't have. Cool. I don't have the yelling in me today. Someone said, I noticed most people criticize the new Wisecrack seem to be reactionary. Yes. Also, David is the Lord of the chat because he gifted a membership, which is a fun thing to do. So one thing I will bring up, and maybe we can look at a clip of it later. I've been really bad about this, but we've started doing a reading group over on Patreon for the Byung-Chul Han book Psychopolitics, and I did like a inaugural sort of intro episode like 6 weeks ago, and I finally made the first full episode and put that up this week. It's 40 minutes long, talking about the first two essays of Byung-Chul Han's Psychopolitics. Byung-Chul Han, if you don't know who that is, he's a originally from South Korea, now based in Germany philosopher, kind of interesting contemporary theorist who talks about, I don't know, a mix of things. The stuff I'm most interested in Han's work is the way he talks about like our sort of subjectivity and experience of the modern world of labor and technology and stuff like that. The reason I picked that book is because I think, Elias gifted into memberships. Let's go. One of the reasons I picked that book is because, let's see if I find the right thing, is because I think it really applies to a lot of the stuff we talk about on the channel and, conversations we've had here in the chat and other places and stuff. So if you're interested in participating in that reading group, you can go on Patreon. It's on our Wisecrack University level. Now, if you are interested in getting that book, I'm going to post this link a few times now. We have a reading list over at Verso Publisher. the publisher Verso Publishing, and oh man, well, there's a Lord of the Chat battle going on, and I love it. But over on Verso's website, we have a reading list. You get 50% off any of those books. Code Wisecrack. I'm gonna do a weird thing. Callie, can you close those windows? If you have a second, sorry, the noise is coming through. Sorry, guys, that was me live on stream asking my wife if she can close some windows because there's like noise and it's distracting me. It's a whole thing. Let's see. But yeah, so if you want to participate in that reading group, head over to Patreon. If you want to grab a copy of the book, head over to the Verso thing and you can get it and use the code Wisecrack and you'll get 50% off the book. So please do check that out. There's also a bunch of other books on there you can get at 50% off. And a thing I haven't checked yet is if the code Wisecrack works across the Verso website or only for those books that are on our reading list. So please do check that out. Someone said today is Hegel Day. Okay. Okay. So I'm just like a little distracted. That was my wife that just walked by. Yeah, but keep her name out of your mouth. Someone who was disagreeing me. You know what? I'm not going to say anything I was about to say. And I don't think that code expires. So again, I'll sum up that whole ramble I just did. Byung-Chul Han reading group on the Patreon. You can get a copy of the book 50% off over on Verso. And now that I've finally set up some at-home OBS layouts that are specifically designed for me to read books on and talk about them, we'll get that going more regularly. If you did not watch Friday's stream, by the way, with TJ the X, please do. I think it was one of our most interesting streams we've ever done. So I can't recommend it enough. If you're familiar with TJ the X, then I think you're going to be like, oh my God, I want to watch that immediately. If you're not, check it out. A really, really, really interesting YouTube personality and presence that I think everyone will get a kick out of. So please check that out. Also, just a heads up, on a Wednesday I know she has her own channel. She does videos from Mother Jones and a bunch of other journalistic outputs. Kat, I think Abu is how you say her last name. I think that's not her full last name, but I think that's like the name she uses for online stuff. Kat Abu is coming on to talk about white Christian nationalism on Wednesday. So Wednesday is White Nationalism Day here on Wisecrack. I'm excited to talk to her about some research she's done recently for a very long video she put out on white nationalism that I think overlaps with our video Friday on sort of the philosophy and theology of some of these, alt-right white nationalist figures. She's also done a lot of interesting journalistic work on the current campaign, on the inability of the Harris campaign to create space for Palestinian voices, things like that. So I'm very, very excited to talk to her. Someone whose work I wasn't aware of until recently, but have very, very much been enjoying. So excited to have her on the show Wednesday. And final announcement-y thing, I feel like I'm like a teacher at the first the first week of class or something. We also had a great interview last Monday with Matt McManus talking about Curtis Yarvin and a bunch of other contemporary philosophy and politics type things. So please do check that out as well. I think now we have to get into what happened over the weekend, which is that Donald Trump worked the fry station at McDonald's. Now I'm going to give you the small version of an overarching theory here. The theory being that maybe this is one of the first times in decades that Donald Trump had a forward development in his self-consciousness, according to the logic of German idealism. But we'll talk about that later. So I'll pull up this AP clip. And we're going to see our man work. And I guess, and Henry, correct me if I'm wrong here. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong about this. Don't correct me if I'm wrong about anything else. I think this is sort of a troll of the fact that Harris has mentioned that she worked at McDonald's growing up in her campaign, and Donald Trump at one point said there's no record of her working at a McDonald's, yada, yada, yada. So this is a way to troll her.
That's what he's getting at with it.
Yeah. Irina, thank you so much for saying that. Gio, I've seen the beef between Ethan and Hassan. That's just like not, that's not like a world that I'm super deep into. So I am aware of that beef. I've seen some of the things around it, and I'm not, super aware of all of the minutia. So I don't want to say anything in particular because I've learned that there's people whose entire um, political and social identities can be shaped around parasocial relationships to streamers and podcasters, and that if you say the wrong thing, those people feel like you're attacking their fundamental identity, and I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to do that. Um, so I'll leave it at that for now. Let's see. Okay, so let's watch a little bit of this clip, which shows us that, the next president might be a working man.
I'm going for a job right now at McDonald's.
I'm going to rewind immediately because that was one of the best 3 seconds I've ever heard.
Going for a job right now at McDonald's.
One more time. I'm going for a job right now at McDonald's.
I'm going for a job right now at McDonald's.
If you thought I wasn't going to do it once more, you don't know me.
I'm going for a job right now at McDonald's.
And, I'm definitely not going to play it again because that would be insane if I did it one more time.
I'm going for a job right now at McDonald's.
I'm going for a job right now at McDonald's. I'm going for a job right now at McDonald's.
Did he get the $13.50 an hour? I'm wondering.
I'm going for a job right now at McDonald's. He's so happy. How can you be mad at a guy like that?
I really wanted to do this all my life.
All of his life. Growing up as a wealthy child in Manhattan, inheriting a real estate business, going to private school, attending an Ivy League university, marrying a series of models and beauty pageant queens he treated poorly. All he's really wanted to do was work in a McDonald's outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Who among us has not wanted that?
And now, because she didn't do it.
She didn't do it. There's going to be a lot of, when we used to have DJs with real turntables, not these kids with the CDR things, and they just put their laptop on the thing. And the DJ would rewind and hold up and you'd play the line over and over. We're going to do a little bit of that on this one. I just feel it coming because I got to hear in the she didn't.
Do it because she didn't do it.
I'm going to do it because she didn't do it. Okay, so he's at Feasterville, Pennsylvania. I'm assuming that's outside of Philadelphia. So there you go. Let's see. I believe that he does, someone said this in the chat. I really believe that he does love McDonald's. I think we have good track. John Walter in the chat says, I'm going for a job right now at McDonald's. So that's really important. Thank you for bringing that up. If you say that in the chat, I'm probably gonna just read it because I think it's so funny. If you guys are eating McDonald's regularly, let us know what your order is. Couldn't tell you the last time I've eaten at McDonald's. And that's not judging you if you enjoy McDonald's. I'm just at a point in my life where it makes my tummy feel bad. And I have to make eating decisions off the basis of, will it make my tummy feel bad? Now, there's some foods that will make my tummy feel bad, but they're so good I'm willing to risk it. McDonald's is not. I'm not willing to risk it for that.
Oh, I think that's good, Jordan.
Slowly, gently lowered into the oil. Don't want to burn yourself.
No hairnet?
No, I mean, I guess not. His hair's pretty stable,
Yeah, but that's I've worked behind the counter in food service before. They want you in a hairnet or with a hat,
I mean, I guess the issue here, right, is that he's not really doing it. Is that kind of what it is, right? That he's not, that the story isn't open. So maybe they don't have to follow standards.
Someone's going to be the happiest boy for getting Trump hair in their fries.
Yeah. Oh my God. I would say so. Okay, people are bringing up stuff that they get at McDonald's. I mean, the breakfast stuff is the best. Someone said they ain't got no vegan food. They did roll out a vegan burger at one point, and I think it didn't catch on. So you know, there you go. Oh, Wendy's. I love the shape of a Wendy's burger. Okay, let's go. Let's see where it goes from here.
That's
Worked at McDonald's. It was a big part of her resume that she worked at McDonald's, how tough a job it was.
All he can do is talk about Kamala Harris. I'm gonna, sorry. Remix.
That she worked at McDonald's, how tough a job it was.
She said how tough of a job it
She
was.
specifically worked at the French fry, where they make the French fries.
He worked at the French fry where they make the French fry. He increasingly, and you know, there's probably like a deeper theoretical way to talk about this, but I'm sure some of you are familiar with James Austin Johnson's impersonation of Trump. He's obviously a Saturday Night Live cast member. He does Trump there. Before he was on SNL, he would do, you know, videos on the TikTok, the Instagram, where he did a Trump impersonation. And it's sort of a thing where now Trump has slowly become that impersonation. And I'll tell you why I think that is. I'm going to just kind of jump around a bit today. So tuck in, kids. I think the reason that James Austin Johnson's impersonation of Trump is so effective is because it's a psychological impersonation. He's impersonating the machinations of Trump's decaying psyche, not trying to literally say the things that he says. And I think because of that, as Trump's psyche continues to deteriorate, then James Austin Johnson's impression just seems like it's more reflective of reality.
She specifically worked at the French fry, where they make the French fries, and
She worked at the French fry, where they make the French fries. This is so good. So good. Someone said 0 orders. She's definitely enclosed. Yeah, I mean, I think Shane Gillis, they were trying to bring him on to do Trump this season, and then he decided to not do it, I guess. Let's see. Just checking out some stuff in the chat. Lousy Poet worked at McDonald's for 2 weeks and then left. Kamala and Trump should kiss. Christopher Love said. They should do that. What if they did a joint press announcement and they kissed and they said they're both going to be president together? I love to work at the French fry. The French fry, it's where I work, where they make the French fry.
she talked about the heat. It was so tough.
Just the shape his mouth makes when he talks, too.
She never worked at McDonald's. McDonald's just confirmed she never worked at McDonald's. Talked about the heat. It was so tough. She never, where they make the French fries, and she talked about the heat. It was so tough. And she talked about the heat. It was so fry, where they make the French fries. 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 Fry, where they
I
make
could
the
keep
French
going, but I
fries.
won't.
And she talked about the heat. It was so tough. She never worked at McDonald's. McDonald's just confirmed that again, by the way.
Did McDonald's confirm that? Does anyone know? I'm going to Google McDonald's confirms Kamala did not work there. Okay, well, the Washington Post says they didn't confirm it. Yeah, here's what I'm seeing. They confirmed that they can't confirm. But like, here's the thing, guys. When she would have worked there, and I don't care about the validity of this. It doesn't matter to me at all. I care more about any of you. I care about any of your lunches more than I care about the reality of Harris having worked at McDonald's. The Wonder Platypus, thank you for enjoying the thumb. But like the stream if you haven't. It helps us out. Like the stream if you want me to stop live remixing as we watch this. But like, if she worked at McDonald's in what, like the 70s or the 80s, this was before we had like completely digitized records. So she would have like filled out a paper application that some manager would have looked at, that they would have put in a file folder. I don't think McDonald's has like a digitized record of every employee who's worked at every location ever, you know?
McDonald's just confirmed that again, by the way. She never worked at McDonald's.
I love everything about this so much.
Again, by the way, she never worked at McDonald's. Just confirmed that again, by the way. She never worked at McDonald's. McDonald's just confirmed that again, by the way. She never worked at McDonald's.
Remember when there was that comedian, I think her name was Sarah Cooper, and her whole thing was that she made videos where she lip synced Donald Trump. This is after he won the first time, and everyone was like, oh my God, he's over. He's so done. He's so done. Because this person is lip syncing him. He's done. Like, the resistance has won. And then Netflix gave her a whole comedy special based on that. That was nuts. You know, here's what I wonder. If he does win again, you know, what's going to happen? Because the culture got so weird. Oh, 666. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pizza Boy said, I've worked with so many academics who dream of chasing their artistic dreams. Can't believe I'm seeing it in real time as Michael becomes a DJ. Absolutely. That's absolutely what you're seeing right now. It's a young man's dreams come alive. I think that's what I'll do. I think whenever Wisecrack gets shut down by like our corporate parent company and becomes a thing where they start reposting AI created videos. Okay, I'm going to predict this right now. So if you want to clip this, friends, you can clip this because this is going to happen at some point. I'll get an email one day. I'll find out that our parent company, Enthusiast Gaming, is firing all of us or like getting rid of Wisecrack. I'll probably at that point try to engage in some type of thing where I like want to like try to buy the channel from them and they won't let me. And what they'll do is they'll lock all of us out of all of our accounts and everything. And I think what they'll do is they will start producing AI videos that will air on this channel on topics that are similar to our things. And they'll have either AI voiceover or a paid voice person be like, have you ever wondered why when you look at a car, you think of existence? Philosophers have talked about the way in which, and like, you know what I mean? It'll just be like a whole thing and they'll start posting the videos. And then I think they'll hope that they can get enough traffic off the AI videos to then at least make some money off the back catalog or something like that. And I guess when that happens contractually, I won't legally be allowed to make videos for a bit, but then I think I will, on the sort of basis or logic of like, I don't think they'll have a legal team that's going to be able to take me down or something like that. But I think that's going to happen at some point. When people say change the passwords, I will say this. I shouldn't say this. But the one social media account that the company doesn't have any access to right now, please God, I hope no one watches this, is the Twitter account. I don't like Twitter. It's not a good thing, but I have access to that. And I've made sure that I have like complete access. So whenever things go dark, that's where I'm going to do it. Another thing we've talked about, I shouldn't say this, is creating like a video that we have on the channel that we can click live on if shit goes down. That's sort of like a in case of emergency type thing. So there you go. But, you know, but all that to say was, if that happens, then I'm just going to start making videos where I just do live remixes of things like this. Let's keep going.
Or she's lying, Kamala.
Wasn't it Lion Ted last time?
Yeah.
So this is how lazy he's getting now. He's not even doing in 2016. He had like nicknames for everyone. It was like Lil Marco.
Yeah.
And just do something better. Do like Crazy Kamala or something. I don't know.
Lion Kamala.
He looks so focused.
You never even touch it, huh?
Exactly.
You never even touch it. And that exactly.
Never even touch it, huh? You never even touch it, huh? You never even touch it, huh? You never even touch it, huh?
I'm just lost in it.
You never even
The
touch it.
shaking.
Huh? You never even touch it. You never even touch it. You never even touch it.
Come on, get lost in it,
Never even
guys.
touch it, huh?
Let it take over your
You
mind.
never even touch it.
Come on.
You never even touch it. You never even touch it, huh?
Exactly.
I always wonder, wow, that's pretty good. Go like that.
We will give them salt packets.
What's this sucker?
What was that move he just did?
That was the Trump special.
He just kind of.
They look like they were, how are you? Nice to see you. That's great. How are you? Nice to see you. That's great. Thank you. They look like they were, how are you? They look like they were. How are you? Nice to see you. That's great. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Hello. Hi, boy. How are you? Your new baby. How are you?
They're just carrying a baby. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. That's not how you drive with a newborn baby. You don't just carry a baby with you in the passenger seat of a car as you're driving. That's not what you do. It's not what you do at all. It's not safe. It's not good. So I think it's very clear. I think you can kind of see that there's a baby seat poking through in the back of the car. This makes it very clear that this is how weird their PR team is, that they constructed this whole scenario and then they said, you know, okay, let's just have someone come through with a baby. Because, you know, like politicians historically, like you like to kiss, you shake hands and kiss babies. So they made them put a baby in the front of the car with them. Okay, I'm gonna look up this RM Brown person people keep bringing up. Oh my God, there's just a baby. Oh yeah, and the remix before, I wanted us to all feel what a stroke would be like. So I'm glad that someone acknowledged that. That's what I was thinking. Like, what would it feel like if we all had a stroke together? This is compliments of me. Like, what are we doing?
How long have you had it?
This location about a year. I've been in.
Thank you very much. How long have you had it?
This location
Very much. How long have you had it? Very much. How long have you had it? Very much. How long have you had it?
This location.
How long have you had it? Very much. How long have you had it?
This
Very much. How long have you had it?
This location.
Come on, guys, this is what it feels like. Let your brain
How
collapse.
long have you had it?
This is where we're at as a
How long have you
culture.
had it?
This is it. This is where, this is what we've done.
This location.
Years of
How long have you had
philosophy,
it?
technology,
How long have
writing,
you had it?
human rights,
location about a year.
digital technology,
How long
art,
have you had it?
film.
location
It's led us to
How long
this.
have you had it?
This is where we're
location
at.
very
Where
How
this
long have you had
guy
it?
in a fake
location
McDonald's.
very
This
How
is
long have you had
real.
it?
This isn't an
location very
aberration. This
How
isn't
long have you
something
had it?
other than our
location
culture. This
very
like
How
is
long
our
have you had
culture.
it?
This is where we
location
live,
very
How
and
long
we
have
can
you had
act
it?
like this is something
location about
other
a
than
year.
that.
How long have you had
But like
it?
this is it,
This
guys.
location
And
about
I
a year.
just,
I've been an operator.
you know, we all have to accept that. You know, that this weird guy in a fake, you know, a real McDonald's that's being held for the day to construct this scenario, like that's where we live. You know? That's where we live. This is us. You know? We didn't ask for this, but this is the world that we live in. Rob, tell your wife, who I hope this isn't weird to say, who's an incredibly nice person, that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I did that to all of you. Okay? I really am. And Jeremy doesn't remember taking shrooms for this stream. You know, there were some stops in there, and I appreciate that. But yeah, how long have you had it? How long have you had it and you never even touch it? I just think sometimes we do have to accept the fact that this is a place where we're at in culture. Like, so, you know, an idea we get in the philosophy of George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, author of books like Phenomenology of Spirit, Science of Logic, Philosophy of History, The Spirit of Christianity and Its Fate, very underrated text. You know, a thing that, you know, Hegel talks about, and this is going to be a little bit reductive here, guys, is that there's a thing called spirit, right? And what spirit is, there's two ways you can read it. Spirit is either literally like the spirit of God, the spirit of the absolute, and that all human thought is sort of God knowing itself through us. There's another way to think of spirit as the collection of human reason. You know, that throughout history, human reason develops. And that spirit, or the spirit of the age, is the high point of human rationality of that time. And as Hegel sees it, you know, we are kind of constantly progressing. So you could read it one way, where we're progressing in so much as human reason is constantly developing. You can read it another way, in which, you know, the absolute or God is getting closer to itself. That human beings, as we fully understand nature and logic and consciousness, we're actually like God understanding itself, or something like that. And, you know, sometimes you just have to wonder, like, And this is why Francis Fukuyama famously said in the early 90s that we were at the end of history. That sort of capitalist democracy, neoliberal democracy is the end of history. He's since said that this is not the case. But, it's hard to imagine that we are, in fact, progressing where human reason is advancing and we're moving closer to something like an ideal state, an ideal ethical state. When we just got this guy saying, how long have you had it in the McDonald's there, And to be clear, when we criticize, I'm going to get to my point, AJ, just stick with me, okay? Just stick with me, okay? I love you, and I want to take you on a journey. Sean is right that Eyes of the World might be the best Dead song, and it's a song that changed my world a lot. And Sean, you might like this. My friend who I play music with got my daughter a shirt when she was first born that was an Eyes of the World shirt. Cute to see a baby in that. But there's another thing Hegel said. Hegel talked about in his master-servant dialectic. If you say the word, I love everyone in this chat, but if you do say the word copium in here, I hope you get diarrhea today. I still like you. I still hope the rest of your life goes good, but I hope you get a mild case of diarrhea today if you use that word. Now, there's another idea we get in Hegel, and have you guys heard of the, and that's a real question, how long have you had it for sure? I don't know if you guys have heard of the master-servant dialectic. Okay, it's something that comes, and I'm going to do this. I don't know if, maybe we'll show it on screen, maybe we won't know if we need it. I'm going to share this in the chat with you. We definitely have a clear Lord of the Chat now, Alex. Alex, how long have you been Lord of the Chat? How long have you had it? How long have you had Lord of the Chat? How long have you had it? But this idea we get in Hegel, right? Master-servant dialectic. Now, he's not literally talking about a master and a servant. He's talking about the development of self-consciousness. But here's the analogy he uses. Work with me here, guys. AJ, you especially. There is a master who lords over a servant. Okay? The master makes the servant do stuff for him. The servant is doing his work. He's cooking, he's cleaning, he's building stuff, he's doing all these things. And the way we normally would think of it in a very reductive way is the master has power. The master has agency, consciousness, and the servant is nothing. The servant is a tool for the master. The servant is an object, and the master is a subject. You with me? Okay. Here's what happens. Master's just sitting on his front porch sipping a mint julep. The servant is doing all this work, and as the servant works, the servant is creating things. And when the servant creates something, the servant sees their self-consciousness reflected back to them in the object of their labor. We've talked before about Marx's theory of alienation, and he gets into this too. That's where he builds this idea from in his sort of Hegelian phase. So in that way, Hegel notes, the servant starts developing a sense of self-consciousness. The servant starts seeing themselves reflected in their labor, in their work. They're doing stuff. They're growing. They're expanding. When the master sipping his mint julep on the porch becomes a dumb little baby boy because he can't do anything, right? And the master who once saw the servant as pure, object sees the servant becoming subject. The servant sees the master as someone without that, developed unconscious. Let's see. Yeah, I was going to maybe read some Hegel for y'all, but it gets kind of, it's written in a very intense way. But here's what we'll say. What happens then, and this is in Hegel, is that eventually the master then wants to kill the servant because it sees it as a threat to itself, but eventually they realize there's a way for them to mutually recognize each other. And this is all a metaphor for self-consciousness, the way that we have these two aspects of our self-consciousness. Now, a way we could read Trump at the McDonald's, via this process in here. If I click mute on Watch Together, will it mute the audio and we could just play some of this in the background? I'm going to do that. And I promise I won't remix you guys. I promise I won't. Or maybe I'll remix just the video. But when we think about it in a certain way, as Trump worked at this McDonald's, he, for probably one of the first times in his life, participated in labor. He comes into the situation, and really, in a sense, he is the archetypal master, and these are servants, but he sees what they're doing. And in this work, we have to wonder, did Trump develop a sense of self-consciousness? Did Trump look at the fries he created? Did he look at the meals he placed in these bags and feel that he saw himself reflected in that labor? Was this all a PR act? Maybe. But in the guise of that PR act, is it the case that he came to know himself better, to know something more about himself? And in that, was he able to recognize the labor of the working man in the McDonald's? And in this sense, we could then ask, is Trump sort of on a journey towards full self-consciousness? Might we have a president who has experienced a Hegelian process of self-realization through labor? When he takes the fries, he doesn't even touch it. He puts them in the thing. He doesn't even touch them. What was that like for him internally, psychologically? Like, how did that feel for him when he saw that he did a good job? When he saw that his labor created something, and then when he got to sort of exchange that, but then we could take the Marxist POV. He gave them as a gift, but did he then wonder, like, am I losing something when I put in all this labor to this object, and then someone else takes the object, and the CEO or this guy, the owner, when he takes all that money, is that who I want to give it to? Am I now alienated from my process of labor, the process under which I came to know myself as fully realized self-consciousness? So we can kind of ask ourselves, like, is this the moment where Trump became fully radicalized in a spirit of conscious becoming? I don't know. We can ask ourselves that, but the reason this is really interesting, guys, is because this is Wonder Platypus. Good to see you. Because they're, and you know me, guys. You know that I'm an incredibly spiritual person. You know that I believe in all types of unseen phenomenon. I believe in the power of prophecy. And because of that, I want to look back at a clip. This is something that took place, during Trump's initial election, and I now have to ask, did we see a John the Baptist figure in the streets of New York predicting that this would all happen? So let's watch a little bit of this clip.
I didn't vote. I don't believe in democracy.
Okay.
I believe in Thule, the ancient city, and raising Thule. And I think that Trump is the candidate who's going to raise Thule and Atlantis. I believe in global cooling the earth, the sea levels lowering.
Just wait, guys.
And I believe in land raising from the bottom of the ocean with ancient ruins on it, like the ruins of Thule. And I believe that Trump's going to accomplish all of that.
How?
He's going to prove that UFOs exist. The government is known consciousness. Introduction to the philosophy of mythology.
Oh, here we go.
Friedrich Schelling. Have you read the critical historical introduction to the philosophy of mythology? Schelling is a German idealist philosopher. He was roommates with Hölderlin and with Hegel.
With Hegel. See, I'm telling you, like, this young man in the streets foresaw the prophecy and foretold that Trump would complete the system of German idealism.
All of this. He predicted it a long time ago. Trump is going to make German idealism real.
Trump is going to make German idealism real.
Complete the system.
He's going to complete the system.
He could not complete the system of German idealism.
It's true. Kant couldn't complete the system of German idealism because he couldn't really figure out how to unify the freedom that's seemingly at the heart of human subjectivity and our practical ethical experience, and the objectivity of sort of the realm of the absolute, the more metaphysical aspects of things.
Trump is going to complete the system. He's going to derive the complete system.
That was terrifying you, right? That terrifies you, right?
It terrifies me. How can we complete the system of German idealism?
Just, if anyone knows about this guy or what he's been up to since then, just...
I hope we never do it.
I don't know. No one could do it. Hegel couldn't do it. Schelling couldn't do it. Fichte couldn't do it.
They couldn't complete the system of German idealism.
Reinhold couldn't do it. Maman couldn't do it. No one could complete the system of German idealism.
Well, that would be good. It's good that we don't complete it, right? I mean, they almost did in 1933 to 45. They didn't one. They had a 12
German
years.
idealism. First critique, published in 1781. Trump is a Kantian. I want it to be clear to everyone here. Donald Trump is a Kantian.
if you're like a big philosophy nerd, this is one of the coolest things that's ever happened.
He's a German idealist. Okay?
He's a drummer, right? He's a drummer.
Can someone Google that?
He's a drummer.
He's a German idealist.
Are you from New York?
No, I'm not from New York.
Are you, how old are you? You look really young. Are you,
Say.
You can't say how old he is.
have
He's
you been to college?
I'm not in college.
How is he not in college if he knows all this?
I just want everyone to know, everyone needs to be aware that the system of German idealism is about to be complete.
Oh, when he laughs there, though, I feel like it gives up the bit.
Do you know the works of Friedrich Schelling? Do you know about Fichte? Do you know about Fichte? Do you know about Fichte?
Yeah, guys. So I would just think, when we connect the dots here, when we put it all together, I would just say that, there's a chance. Someone did say that Wisecrack smokes crack. And maybe that's where I'm at today. But I think that I just want to say that this is, if it all happens, we were here first. We were the ones that understand. We were the ones that sort of foresaw the completion of German idealism. Is this a bit? I don't know. It makes me wonder, where does the bit end and where does it begin? I'm going to explain what's happening in a second. Does he do anything else here? Okay, so I don't really know the background of that young man or what he was up to. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen when that video first came out. Let's see. How long has he had it? Pass the duchy on the left-hand side of Wise and on crack. Yep. Real case of the Monday stuff right here. I will say this, all the stuff that guy said about he was correct in so much as he outlined the major figures, text, and dates of German idealism. Is there someone else named Michael Burns in this chat? Holy crap! This is absolutely crazy that you're Michael Burns and I'm Michael Burns. This is
Yeah, we're
I think
really
I'm
outside of space and time today.
Yeah, because I'm having an experience now. Because Michael Burns, it's I'm seeing another side of the being of Michael Burnsness, and in a sort of master and servant way, as it's described in Hegel and his Phenomenology of Spirit. I feel this desire, to initially I have a fear of the subjectivity of the other Michael Burns. I want to fight him to the death, but then, in a moment of mutual recognition, I realize that he is Michael Burns, I am Michael Burns, and we are Michael Burns. And that's sort of the seed of democracy right there, the ability to recognize the other for their humanity and realize that their conscious unfolding is a part of the process of the unfolding of my own consciousness. That's at the heart of it right there. The name of that video, someone asked, if you just, Donald Trump will complete the system of German idealism. If you just look that up, you will find it. Awesome username. Fred Hampton is my hero. That's an incredible hero for you to have. Yeah, the Burns are really taking over. We have some substance Burnsness in here. Michael grokking themselves. I guess, yeah, but we all are Michael Burns in a certain respect. And I'm glad we could all participate in that together. So the question is, are we on the precipice of the completion of the system of German idealism? And by that, what I mean is, are we at a point where, that the absolute will come to know itself through human reason? Are we going to get to the point where we're going to have the absolute, ethical state? Will the owl of Minerva cease its flight because knowledge of the whole will be contained? The particular will outline the being of the universal. I don't know. I wish I could tell you guys right now, but I do know that it's funny that he worked at the Fry station. I do know that was a really great bit by them. And I do know as well that some people are missing the plot when they have watched the Trump thing and they're like, oh, he's cooked. It makes him look so dumb. It's like, no, I think if you already like that guy, you think that's cool and fun. So, there you go. Yes, we're having a very special, day here today. But I mean, we could sort of say, let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, he's working McDonald's and talking Arnold Palmer's hog. He's just like most of us.
He is. I mean, we can say this. Like, this is, I am going to read you one line from Hegel here, where he says, thus precisely in labor, where there seem to be merely some outsider's mind and ideas involved, the bondsman becomes aware, through this rediscovery of himself by himself, of having and being a mind of his own. So we must wonder then, if we could rephrase this by saying, thus precisely in the preparation of the fries, where initially there seemed to be a McDonald employee's mind and ideas involved, Donald Trump becomes aware through his rediscovery of himself by himself in the act of the preparation of the fries, of having and being a mind of his own. Hegel ends the section by saying, for this reflection of self into self, the two moments, fear and service in general, as also that of formative activity, are necessary, and at the same time both must exist in a universal manner. Fear and service existing together. Someone asked earlier what Kierkegaard would think about this, and I'll just say that Kierkegaard would just simply say that these things exist. That these things do exist, but in a more sort of constant state of tension, and they don't sort of like clean up in a really nice way, the way in which Hegel might say that they do. Thank you for just entertaining this discussion today, guys. Really, really appreciate it. What is Stream Elements doing here?
It looks like I just checked on our Wednesday scheduled stream, and it looks like for some reason Stream Elements ran with that chat instead of today's chat, despite it never doing that before.
Wow. There's so much happening. And, I do think if you are looking to complete the system of German idealism and you're worried about it, having the energy, you could check out this stupendous blenditude from Yes Please Coffee. I do think that coffee was involved in the formation of German idealism. These philosophers were hanging out at coffee shops and taverns in Berlin, cities of that nature, in Jena, in Germany. The official coffee of Wisecrack is Yes Please. We have a partnership with them. If you go to Yes Please and use the code Wisecrack, you will get 20% off of the fuel that will help you complete the system of German idealism once and for all. Shout out to our coffee contest winner. Is it Henji or Bet? I'm so sorry. I'm forgetting your name off the top of my head right now. We watched some of the entries from our coffee contest Wednesday. You all were amazing. I mean, Eddie was amazing. Lonkin Pork was amazing. So many of you. Wait. Did Lonkin enter? No. And Porkins. I'm so sorry. Lonkin Pork and Porkins. There's so much pork involved here. Thank God I'm not kosher. But really great memberships. We're going to keep going. And this channel was good, and now it is just a sad lefty channel. Although I would say that we did miss 777. I think that you could say it's a sad lefty channel, but you could also say we experienced this sort of phase of unhappy consciousness that Hegel outlines in, the phenomenology of spirit, in which consciousness looks back and is unable to reconcile its current state with sort of the consistency it thought it would have. But I think we've transcended the lefty unhappy consciousness stage as we're now following Trump into the completion of the system of German idealism. So I do think that. So, there you go. Again, I love everyone in this chat. And even if you talk about coping, I still love you, but I do hope you get mild diarrhea. If you talk about coping. This isn't stirring the pot. Someone said whatever happened to 8-bit philosophy. It's a thing the channel made a long time ago. And kind of got expensive to make. In general, if you look at sort of the stuff that's on YouTube, now. It's just different than the stuff that used to get made before. Happy 777. But please do check out Yes Please Coffee if you do like coffee a lot. It's some of the best coffee I've ever had in my life. We're friends with the fellas that make it. And you know, they don't pay us to say this. The full transparency is we get a tiny kickback if you order some of their coffee, but it's more just a fun partnership. Someone said maybe we need a touch of Kant, and we might need to. Fred Hampton, thanks for lifting to this channel. I was really impressed that someone called me like a soy boy in the comments to a recent video, and I asked them how much weights they can lift, and they responded that they can deadlift 220, and I really appreciate that. Here's my thing. If you're going to call me a soy boy cuck, you got to lift. You got to be able to lift.
I mean,
okay.
I'm just going to say it. 220 is not much on a deadlift.
Oh, is that not? All right, well.
That's less than 2 plates? Like, no, you have to deadlift more than 2 plates. Like, I'm sorry, but I can bench more than that. I'm calling that person out.
Ooh. I remembered I had a mental note to ask you about that. But I'll say this though, I at least appreciate them. Wait, I just want to see what someone said about. I missed something. Wait, someone said, I mean, Xander, it's not like I'm not advocating for German idealism as a system of philosophy, you know? But what are you going to do? So, okay, so 220 isn't a lot. I'll still say this though. I wish I would have been mean to the person, but I still appreciate that they were honest about it. And then the person called me. They asked how long I've been gay for. And I did respond in just saying that, like, we used to call people gay when I was a little boy, when I was like 12 years old, you know? And I would say I was from a very unwoke, unprogressive city, school, culture, town, all that sort of stuff. And like by high school, we were like, oh, it's not like a fun thing to say. It's not impressive. It's not witty. Oh, and it like hurts some people's feelings who we know and we like. So we're going to stop saying that word. I didn't know that came back around. You know, I guess maybe it's part of, because there's a lot of words now, like the R word came back around. And it seems like it's particular communities of dudes online who have reappropriated some of this language, which I would just say, like, in the spirit of German idealism, I'd rather them push forward and try to get closer to, you know, absolute versions of fun put down things. Guys, if I haven't lifted weights in forever, how much do we realistically think I could deadlift? I've never deadlifted before. If it was my first time, Henry, what do we think I could deadlift?
What do you weigh?
Well, that's kind of personal. I'm about a $165.
I think you can deadlift at least 185.
Let's go, guys. Maybe we should do that sometime. Have like a live stream deadlifting thing. We'll fly Henry out and he'll do a weightlifting session for me. But I'll just say that if you're gonna do the whole like I'm a soy cuckboy person, you got to tell me how much you lift, because then I respect it. Like, I mean this genuinely. If someone's gonna pull that card, I just want them to be jacked. Like, if you're a jacked dude and you're like, you little fucking soy cuck, awesome. But if you're just some little guy at home, come on, do better than that, you know? So we have some fun stuff coming up this week. Let's see if there's anything else we should check out. I know we're slightly over. We got a few minutes. I guess everything else we have to look at. Let's just look at one more thing really quick here. I think it's right around here. Hold on.
Burn yourself. Top down a little bit further.
Worked at McDonald. It was a big part of her resume that she worked at McDonald. Tough a job where they make the French so tough. She specifically worked at McDonald's. In other words,
embrace it. Let your mind collapse. Let your mind collapse, guys.
Kamala. 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 Kamala.
We got 2 weeks until that election's going to happen. And, you know, again, today's point wasn't to talk. We didn't talk about politics. We didn't say anything that I think, how long have you had it? We'll do that one last time for sure. We didn't really get into policy today because we don't do politics. We're here to talk about, you know, theoretical matters.
How long have you had it? Compliments of me, okay? Thank you very much. How long have you had it? Okay. Thank you very much. How long have you had it? Okay. Thank you very much. How long have you had it? Okay. Thank you very much. How long have you had it? Okay. Thank you very much. How long have you had it? Okay. Thank you very much. How long have you had it? Okay. Thank you very much. How long have you had it? Okay. Thank you very much. How long have you had it?
You know, I'm sorry that I'm intentionally alienating some of you. I don't even mean to do that. I just can't. I can't not. Someone brought, oh yeah, Pyrene Dream brought up apple pies. That's definitely the best thing on the menu by one metric. It's definitely one thing that I think they do a really good job of at McDonald's. Let's see. Can we get another? I'm going to my job. Okay, we can do one more. We'll do one more for you because we care about you.
Thank you very much. How long have you had it?
If you've ever owned a franchise of a place, let us know. Yeah, we have some other like videos we've looked into, but they're all just kind of like, you know, long. I mean, I'll show you this real quick. Let's watch a second of this because this is a video you should check out, The Dangerous Reality of White Christian Nationalism, my cat, Abu, because we're going to have her on the show Wednesday. So let's watch a second of this to give you a little heads up to this video that we're going to be checking. We're going to talk to this person on this show on Wednesday.
About white Christian nationalism. It's one of the greatest threats to our country, our rights, and our vaginas, and yet one of the least understood. Because while I'm sure you have a picture in your head when I say white Christian nationalists,
better not be this face. It better not.
I'm guessing this guy? There's a lot more influence, history, and scary goals that lie below the surface of this Project 2020 shaped iceberg. Ones that most people this movement.
Oh, no worries. Well, I would recommend everyone check out this video. Hold on. I think I had let me just copy the link to it. Between now and Wednesday, guys, check out this video. Because we're going to get really deeply into white nationalism on Wednesday. If you've not watched Friday's video, please do check it out. We got into some of the stuff. Oh, someone is a former franchise owner. How long have you had it, Eric? How long did you have it? And then let us know if anyone ends up eating McDonald's because of this stream. Let us know. Guys, I'm going to do something and I'm just going to start doing it. So, I'm going to say that I'm going to start remixing and Henry's going to fade this stream out soon. So Wednesday, come back, 10 a.m. for Wisecrack Live. Kat's going to be here. We're going to get into white nationalism. Tomorrow over on Wisecrack 2, you can check out Show Me the Meaning. But, Henry, give me 30 to 60 seconds just to play here and then you can just fade out.
Good, Jordan. French fry. Tough a job it was. She specifically worked at McDonald's, how tough a job it was. That she worked at McDonald's, how tough a job it was. Lying, comma. In other words, she's never even...
Exactly.
You never even touch it, huh? You never even touch it, huh? You never even touch it, huh?
Exactly.
Never even touch it.
Vacation about a year.
Oh no, I messed up.
Mr. Beast.
Oh no.
Creator.
Y'all enjoy your Monday. We'll be back with you Wednesday. And don't forget to check out Show Me the Meaning tomorrow either. See you later.